Okie dokie, what's good in the Q&A channels? All right, so here's what we deal with the FUD, right? I don't want you to think that I'm trying to downplay anything. You know, sometimes you gotta deal with stuff head on, and that's what I'm gonna try to do right now. I've got a list of all the stuff that's kind of come through here. I had the team compile all this for me so I could try to just work down it. I honestly didn't have time to organize my thoughts a whole lot, and I'm up against the deadline that I set for you guys, and I don't want to miss it. So I'm just going to kind of go through this really kind of on the fly here. So the roadmap is either on the site already or it's going up. I'm putting a video up with some alpha in it. I'll direct you to that video over in announcements. So I'm not going to I probably will end up talking about it in here before it's all said and done. What is our marketing strategy? One of the things a lot of the marketing strategy on this is going to be, it's around the different pieces of alpha. When you look on the roadmap, there's a tokenomics piece, and I think the date on that is the 12th. The tokenomics announcement it's the biggest one, second biggest one on the entire roadmap. A lot of stuff is going to get really clear with the tokenomics announcement. So I want to hold back on that until then, because there's a lot of other stuff that we need to have ready, and I want to make sure that we're doing it right. As everybody knows, this is a project that's been in the works for 3 months. We moved this project up when we saw the free distribution model. I covered that in the video and announcements. I won't repeat it all here. So we did push some things up. And so we got to play a little bit of catch up on some of the tactical execution side, and that's what we're doing. So if you look down at that in the tokenomics, you'll see that, and that's a big piece. When that drops, a lot of other things on the roadmap will get clarified and have a lot more detail, and you'll really have something to sink your teeth into. But the alpha I dropped is pretty important if those of you that are paying attention, and pay attention to what we thought and planned to do the Dutch to what we were going to set the floor at. Pay attention to that, because I think that's relevant. I've been doing marketing my whole life, and I felt really confident of where we were headed with that. It's just that I felt like we were in an inflection point moment, and we made some changes to kind of take advantage of this free distribution model. I love the idea that our project 20 years from now was given away for free. So anyway, let me move back into the question. So one of the biggest questions is gas. I've already announced that we are going to take the festival fund will not be touched. The 25% of royalties that go to the festival fund are going to go to the festival fund. We're going to get a tracker up on the site. Kara Fine has been, I know she's been on the guys about kind of fast tracking that, so you guys can start seeing the ticker. We'll probably also, once we get that ticker, we'll probably do a ticker for the gas rebate. There's been a lot of debate on this. Unfortunately, a little bit of strife in the community, a little bit of arguing and bickering back and forth. Again, I would just ask everybody be kind to each other. I want to look at and understand failed transaction volume, roughly 4% of the gas in that, from what I can tell, looking at the analytics. I haven't had a chance to get completely deep into all of it. Want to understand that compared to the general incredibly high gas. But it is going back to the community. And when you see kind of how we're putting it back, it's money that's intended for the community anyway. And since we haven't gotten to some of the points in the process that free up some of the specifics in how royalties are distributed, we've got a little bit of runway here. And really the 3-week move up and going into the free model, I wouldn't have that flexibility if we had kept on the normal plan. So we're going to take that. We're going to work a gas rebate fund. It's coming. Everyone can expect to participate in that minted. That is not something. It's going to be pro rata. So if you got low gas, you're going to get a lot less distribution. If you paid really high gas, you'll get more of it. And I think that's a pretty fair way to do it. The failed stuff, we still have to dig in and kind of understand some of that. I'm just not ready to give you I don't have the answer yet. And so I'm not going to try to answer something that I don't have the answer for. Working down the token art will be discussed along with the royalties. That'll come really clear on the tokenomics piece. When we talk tokenomics, we will also talk art specifics. So when you look at the roadmap and you see the tokenomics framework is coming out, that's part and parcel. It'll be wrapped up in that. Are we worried about current wallet distribution? With a project like this, a free mint at 2.2K holders, there's gonna be if you look at where other projects have started, I mean, at 2.2K on 12,555 items, do I wish it was higher? Of course, high wallet distribution is good. I'd like to see us plot a course towards 3,500 in the next 30 days or so. I'd love to see that happen. But it's something that we're mindful of, but it's not something that I think is, it's not something that I don't think is that we can charge through. I definitely think we can. If you look at where other projects were and their trajectories on different things, I don't think we're in a super bad spot there. Will these be valid for more than one festival? I'm building this forever. Forever. I'm putting a structure around this project so that it can live on after I retire and I'm dead and gone. I want this festival, I want my great grandchildren to attend it. And I want them to use these NFTs as their ticket to get in. So it's not a 3-year thing. I'm building it forever. And there are succession plans and ways that you can structure something like that so that hopefully it will live on forever. That's absolutely the plan. Ethereum's forever, blockchain's forever. I want to build this future-proofed forever. What utility would serve in the tokens? There's going to be a lot of things. One other thing, I'll drop a little piece of alpha. Think about the world that I've come from and the things I'm trying to unite. Trading cards being something that I did growing up and have always been a part of. It's something that really, when you think about the human behavior of NFTs, it really hasn't fully been tapped into yet. And there are going to be a lot of reasons that this particular project that people are going to want to hodl some, trade some. All right, so we're gonna have, I believe, a very vibrant secondary market as things come together on this. The mechanics of this are being designed and built with that in mind. Traits and rarity, I'm gonna skip on that for now. Will there be an incentive or reward for holding more than one? Absolutely, there's gonna be a lot of that. There will definitely be some incentives for various combinations. Will there be differences in rarities? Yep. Festival, yeah, fuck yeah, great. So portion majority fund festivals. So one of the questions was my experience running a festival. I've never run a festival in my life. I'm not going to run this festival. What we're going to have is we're going to have tiers that'll be set on the site when we have we were already getting different proposal ideas of where production companies that do these sort of things to understand where the festival could end up. You can do a festival, and I use this example, I think either in Twitter Space or something, but you can do a festival on a farm in Kentucky with tents and old school Bonnaroo style. You can do that a heck of a lot cheaper than you can rent out the Atlantis in the Bahamas and set up a tent and have big name stars come. This will be dictated by the success of the project, and whether we end up with a small festival or we end up with a big festival, whether it's a small festival that grows into a big festival, all of that's going to be dictated. I'm not putting on the festival. My team's not putting on the festival. I see the Fire Festival jokes. The documentary on that is just crazy. And I'm not telling you that I know anything about festival production. We will hire a production company, and the budget will either be hit or it won't, and you will know what those tiers are, and everybody will know what was coming. When we announced it, we said the goal is annually. That's what we're going to shoot for. We may get in a situation where we're like, hey, let's do it every 2 years because we can do it bigger. There's some options of how we can get into that, but I'm not putting on the festival. My team, we're a marketing, that's the world we come from. That's what we understand. We're not festival people, but we're going to hire people, and that's festivals get put on all the time. There are production companies that know what the hell they're doing, and it's a problem that money can solve and planning can solve, and I'm confident that we can execute on that as far as hiring the right people. So way more utility coming to ability to elaborate. The tokenomics will clear up a lot of kind of what I'm talking about on that as well. Art, we've already talked about. The roadmap has got some different dates on it. Again, it may be a little bit confusing. You may be scratching your head on a little bit of that, but again, there's some big alpha that I dropped in the announcements. Be sure to do that. The roadmap's up. What's my favorite tiki drink? I'm a straight tequila guy, but if I'm going to do tiki drinks, it's going to be something coconut and pineapple. How are you funding the festival when the minting was free? All right. Again, the world I come from, we're going to build this to where there will be a lot of really good reasons to have a very vibrant secondary market, meaning There may be different utilities that you may need tokens for some period of time to execute on a piece of utility. And then when that's over, someone else may need that token. A lot of trading back and forth generates a secondary market, which ultimately fuels the engine, fuels the 50% royalty that you can attach to. Ooh, just spilled that from the other video, but and also the 25% that goes to the festival fund. So different ways to do that. So here's one, and I took a lot of heat for this last night, and this is one of the reasons that led me to do the gas reward. So again, I said last night in this thing, I said that the Discords, Hunter's Discord and the original BlockPax Discord, I said they were private. They're not private, they're public. It's anybody can click the link and hop in. But look, I'm not trying to make an excuse on that. What I should have done is I should have sent a tweet that said, or posted in the Tiki Discord, hey, just so you know, got some groups of people that have been with me and Hunter for a long time on what we're doing, and they're going to get a little bit of a head start on this because it's what we've promised them, and we're going to live up to that promise. And if I would have done that, I think it would have solved this problem. I fucked that up. I fucked up the communication. I feel like what I was doing, I had the purest of intentions in how I was gonna, what I was doing. I felt like, I'm rewarding the people that have really supported it, and we wouldn't even be here if it weren't for this. It felt right. And after it was over, I took a lot of freaking heat for that. And I think I could have communicated it. And so when I've part of the analytics that I'm waiting on the full breakdown of this is how much did that matter? The gas acceleration was extremely fast. I don't think it matches. I don't think perception is reality here. I don't think that head start and that benefit was quite as big as it's maybe been made out to be in some other from other folks. But I'm not ready to say that yet. I want to have all of it to understand it. But again, when we do the gas fund rebate, those people, if that thesis is true, and the early access didn't spend anything on gas, they're not going to get anything in the gas rebate. And I also investigated the thesis of the early sellers. Were they the people dumping and selling it last night? And from what I've been able to tell so far, again, I have not had a chance to dig into all of this. But from everything that I was able to look at in a few minutes, that doesn't appear to be the case. Wallets that were holding, the correlation of those wallets versus mint price paid, have they sold? How many have moved completely out of the project? How many have sold a couple? I mean, it's all there. It's a lot of analytics. I've had a really busy day trying to make sure that we get the roadmap and all the execution done. But it's just one of those things where it's there's a lot of stuff that needs to be dug into to fully grasp that, and I'm just not quite ready for it yet. So I'm expecting some people to give me a full debrief on that. When I get that full debrief, I'll know more, have better insight to it. This is something that I'll be able to speak to better in a couple of days. I'll be able to speak to better in a week. It's part of the history of where we are, and it's a mistake that I made on the communication front for sure. Pure intentions, shitty communication on it. I'm not one that makes excuses. But sometimes there are reasons for things. The reason I didn't do that is because the Tiki Discord blew up so damn fast and things were popping off so quick, I just didn't think about it. Didn't cross my mind. So it's not like I made them, like I thought, should I tweet about this? No, I'm not going to. I didn't have that thought. Never crossed my mind. I fucked it up. It didn't cross my mind, and I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry that I didn't announce it. I'm not sorry for what I did. I want you to understand that. I'm not apologizing for giving the BlockPax and Hunters Discord the head start that we gave them, because I told them that. It was something that I put out there. I'm not apologizing for that. I'm apologizing for shitty communication. And then in the gas rebate, those that were, if to the extent that thesis holds, that those that weren't in that were disproportionately affected, they'll be disproportionately rewarded when it comes to the gas refund. So I'm going to kind of let that go until I can really speak to that intelligently on all the full circle of the issues. But that's where we are. I'm not going to keep dwelling on this. I don't want this FUD to hold the project down. It's something I want to do to make it right. I want to make, when I screw something up, I want to try to own it and make it right. And that's what I'm going to try to do. I need a lot of information. This stuff is complex. It's not super easy, not to mention the operations. I have to focus on the operations right now. I got to focus on delivering the project, on executing. I'm not a Solidity dev. I'm an executor. I'm a business guy. And now we're in the realm that I'm good at. And that's what we're gonna do. So that's where my brain is, but I'm gonna circle back to that. Marketing plans. I'm not looking to get influencers to push this project. If you're in this project and what you want is kind of an influencer pump where this thing moons up and it does it in a way that's not healthy for the ecosystem, not the project for you. I've tweeted tons of stuff about how BlockPax is built, no influencers. I mean, Hunter, I guess he's an influencer now. He's getting a big footprint. He's got his Morning Mint show, and you should listen to that if you don't already. I mean, I love Hunter, just an amazing human being. But I looked at Hunter as someone who knew the space and that sort of thing. I'm not trying to go out and hire influencers. I'm not trying to drag influencers by their arm into this. We're going to execute, we're going to deliver utility, we're going to deliver value, and over the long term, that's what is going to drive the desirability of our NFTs. These are not investments. I know a lot of people are looking at NFTs as get rich quicks, and I get it. A lot of money has been made in them, a massive sum of money. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to build legacy projects that'll be here in 50 years and 100 years. That's what I'm trying to do, and it's not a pump. When I tell you something, I'm telling it to you because I believe it from the bottom of my heart. We're going to execute on it, and again, looking to leave a mark in that. So that's the piece on influencers. And Fridgy Long video talked about fractionals. Yes, absolutely, that's still part of the. So again, we're trying to take physical collectibles on the BlockPax side, tokenize the ownership of them, vault them, and people can freely trade them. If you are a historic Mickey Mantle fan, you want to own a piece of Mickey Mantle, or you want to own an entire Michael Jordan card, and you don't want to take care of it, you want to own the NFT, feel the connection to that collectible like people have for ages and ages, have a different type of asset class, that's what we're building there. Bringing crypto liquidity to that space. Then having some projects that are a collision where it kind of combines the two. That's what our current fractionals project, which is moving to this collision project idea, that's what that's going to be. And it kind of sits in the middle because it kind of appeals to both sides in two different ways. And it's a super, super interesting concept and story. And if you haven't followed that, I'm definitely am going to be inviting the Tiki community to learn about that because I think it's something that you all would be very interested in. That currently lives on Matic. It's called BlockPax Fractionals. If you want to pick those up, those are actually going to move over to main chain. And they're going to move over in a unique way as far as creating a better liquidity system in that, using different token type. You may read into that what you will, but that's something that's coming there. And then we have the pure crypto native NFT side, utility, art, community, that's what Tiki is. And having all of that in an ecosystem where they can cross over and take advantage. People from the physical side can come over and take advantage of what's on the NFT side, pure play NFT. People from the NFT side can take advantage of holding some really cool physical collectibles. I mean, I think there are people out here, would you like to own a piece of Tom Brady's debut jersey that he wore in his first ever game? Own it outright? Own a share of it? I think that's pretty cool, and you don't have to take care of it. You can do it as an NFT, and you have that ownership stake, you have that liquidity, but is it going to moon the way that some other things in this space do? No. Is it going to be more stable? Probably. I think so. So again, I think that hope that's something that is, you guys look at this space, that might make sense that you expand your collectible horizon to what we're doing on that side. That's a very big piece of the mission that we have here to bridge these worlds together. There's a ton of money locked up on the physical side, $500 billion of value locked, $5 billion of annual liquidity. OpenSea does that in like 40 days. So think about taking that value lock, bring it in with that liquidity, and boom, it could be an absolute powder keg of an explosion that could drive your NFT values, drive extra liquidity in that market, make the transfer of those things better. That's what could happen there. So yeah, if you want to jump over, that's currently on Matic, BlockPax Fractionals. You'll need ETH on Polygon to participate in that. But that would be something that it's super cheap right now.